Hey, fifth graders, it is Wednesday, May 20, and we are going to do session 7 of our Reading Fantasy Book Club unit. Okay, so you're going to need a couple things. You need your book, you need a pencil and a sticky note or two, and you need this that came home in your packet last week. So grab those things and come right on back. Okay, let's get started. So I'm going to start with this statement. Fantasy is fantastic. In fact, it's so fantastic. There's things that just don't happen in the world that we live in, and that's what makes it so awesome. So you have things out there like dragons and castles and magic powers and new worlds. We still can use these books to find a theme or a life lesson that can apply to our lives. So that's what we're going to learn today. How do we look at these fantastical books and still find a life lesson or a theme? Okay. So I'm going to give you a couple of examples. I'm going to show you how I'm thinking about it. And then today it's going to be your job to look at your book and try to find a theme and evidence to support. So be ready to do that at the end. So I'm going to think about Rowan of Rin. And I think about Rowan, and even though I'm not battling a dragon, I can still think about what Rowan's going through. And in life, I think that there's times that people might not treat me kindly, like they do with Rowan. They even look down on him. And I can make a connection to life in general about that. That even though Rowan, if I look at him and think what kind of person he is, he's kind, he's gentle, he's shy. For some of you, you're nodding your head like, yeah, that kind of describes me. But we know that Rowan is brave. And so even though on the outside he might look like a timid little boy, we know that the inside there's a lot more than what we can see. Thinking about a theme, I think about don't judge a book by its cover. But with this one, you could think, don't just look on the outside only. You need to look inside a person to really understand who they truly are. Okay, and that might be a theme that I've learned from Rowan of Rin. Okay. I like to also think about the main characters, especially, and I think about Keck in Home of the Brave. I know it's not a fantasy book, but still a great book, and we've all read it. Think about Keck and think about what life lessons could we've learned from that book. In a minute, you're going to have to do that work yourself, and it can be hard to just go, okay, friends, go get your book out, go find a theme, find some evidence, see ya, and I turn off my video. That wouldn't be very nice of me. I want you to be thinking about this and have this in front of you when you're working on finding a theme. Where do I look for a theme in my book? Okay, you can actually look a lot of different places. I just made a very short little chart for you to follow just to keep it simple. So one place that you can look is, well, one big place is the main character. But what about the main character? Well, think about what the main character might say, what the character's thinking, what the character actually does. Okay, so those 3 places you can look specifically and follow your character. What kind of things have my character said? What kind of things has my character been thinking about? And what kind of things has my main character been doing? And from there, you might find a theme. Okay. Another place to look is think about other characters along with your main character. Okay. So it's always good to look at, yes, your main character, but what other characters are playing a role in your main character's life? Okay. I'm going to give you an example from Home of the Brave and Keck. So, Keck. We know if we describe him, I love to just kind of think about descriptive words like I did with Rowan. So Keck is silly. He's described as silly. His whole family thinks he is. He's kind of laid back, it seems like, kind of go with the flow. Don't let things upset me. He's fun. He's always up for a good time. But if you look deeper, he has a stubborn streak. For good and for bad. When Keck sets out to do something, he gets it done somehow, right? He just kind of keeps persevering. That could be a theme. In life, we should persevere. In life, when things are hard, we should persevere. Or we know that he hung on to hope, hope that his mom was still alive and out there and was going to find him. He hung on to that with a strong, strong grip, even when others told him not to, like Ganwar. Okay, so that could be something that we could write down. We might find a theme there. Okay. I also like to think about Ganwar. I think he's one of the best characters in the book. He's probably my favorite. I love Keck, but Ganwar is interesting the way he changes. But I think about Ganwar, and he seems like the bad guy. But if you think about it, when Keck finally does lose hope, remember when he runs away on the bus and then he climbs that tree? Who comes and gets him out of that tree? Who comes and pulls him out of his funk and shows him to keep on hoping, to keep on trying, to push through? Who got him through that dark time? It was Ganwar. Okay? So sometimes you can find themes in watching what other characters do, good or bad, to your main character. And you can find themes for life there as well. Okay? So when you're thinking about your book, I want you to be thinking, what theme, life lesson, is my author teaching me using my main character or using the minor characters in my book? What things are being said? What things are being done? What things are being thought? Okay? So I want you to be thinking about that as you read today. You'll have your book, you'll have your sticky note, and I'd like you to jot a theme that you find, and then I want you to write down evidence from the book that supports your theme. How do you know that's a theme? What was said or what was done? Okay? And during teams, Miss Gibbons, Miss James, and I can check in to see what theme or themes have you found in your book. All right, talk to you then. See you later.